welcome back to Poomsae with Master AJ. So today's video we're going to talk about presentation in your recognized score. So presentation has a lot to do with how well you do the move, not just how you do the move. So I have the referee handbook pulled up on my iPad and I'm going to read everything word for word and explain to you exactly what they're talking about. Okay, so presentation is awarded 6 points. So in recognized scoring, your accuracy is awarded up to 4 points and your presentation is awarded up to 6 points for a total of 10 points. Your presentation is based off of 3 categories. The first category is speed and power, up to 2 points, rhythm and tempo, up to 2 points, expression of energy, up to 2 points. These 3 categories make up your presentation score. Okay, so presentation is also based off of a deduction system, although I would consider it more of a reward-based system because of how it's scored. Accuracy is scored in real time, so as you do your form, you're being deducted. Presentation is awarded after you complete your form. Once your form is done, judges will calculate what they think you deserve in your presentation for each of the 3 categories and input that into the system. So to me, it sounds like the better you do, the better score you get. So it's more of a reward-based. Okay, so we're going to read through each of the categories on what the referee handbook says. Speed and power. Ability to perform Poomsae shall be evaluated on whether the movements are performed in accordance with the characteristics of the pertinent movement. For example, attacking techniques such as jitigi or chagi are best performed with the soft start, accelerating with the balance between speed and power, using the body weight to achieve a maximum effect, or special movements are performed slowly and intentionally with power and balance. So basically it's saying that as long as you understand what each movement is for. If you're doing an attack, you don't want to be extremely soft throughout it. You want to start soft and relaxed and finish powerful. So understanding what blocks are and what attacks are going to really help you develop key speed and power. 2 examples are, deductions shall be made if too much strength is revealed in the beginning of the movements, as this slows down the movement and reduces the power and effectiveness of the movement. Basically, if you're too tense. Deductions shall be made if the contestant exaggerates a movement beyond the culmination of that movement to show power in the next movement, or exaggerates the reaction of the body to express power. This basically means if you don't stay still. So if you throw a punch and it's too strong and you shake around a lot, or you're not able to control, that can decrease your presentation score. Okay, so rhythm and tempo. Control of power means the greatest power is shown at the most critical moment of the movement, usually the culmination through speed and softness. Control of speed means an appropriate connection between actions and changes in speed such that powerful moves accelerate. Rhythm means repeated actions are performed with timing that results in the technique being most effective to accomplish the intended result, and flow of power with the greatest expression of power occurring at the instant of the strike, block, or kick. Okay, so rhythm and tempo is a little bit more complex. Basically what they're saying is the connection between each movement, there's a difference between the speed of it. There's the slow part and the fast part. So it's not just each individual movement, which belongs in speed and power. It's the speed and power of all the movements together. So I like to think of it as Poomsae as like a necklace, a beaded necklace. So you're going to have each move represent one bead. To create a pattern or a rhythm, all of those beads are strung together. So how well you string those beads together, or do your form, connecting each movement together, is how well your rhythm and tempo is going to be scored. The other thing, kind of back to the first one, is to remember that blocks and attacks have different speeds. So you have to learn how to balance that with your rhythm and tempo. 2 examples are, too much power makes the movement look stiff and robotic from the start. Deductions shall be made if the speed, power, and rhythm are presented with no changes from start to the end of the lines of the movements. Deductions shall be made in case of stiff or limp actions coming from a stiff body or a too soft presentation without expression of power. A strong start makes it difficult to accelerate and slows down the action at the critical point of the movements. So if you follow me on Instagram, which you totally should, you'll know that my mic cut out in the middle of editing this video, and so I had to go back and reshoot everything else that was left from that point on. So here we are, which thankfully it wasn't very much. We left off at the expression of energy. This category addresses the presentation of confidence and power that come from mastering the expression of energy. The range of movement of techniques, concentration, courage, sharpness, confidence, and posture affect how energy is expressed according to the characteristic actions of Poomsae. Such characteristics as the direction of sight and focus of the eyes, strength of the kiap, attitude, and uniform all contribute to the overall expression of energy. So this is referring to your presence during your form. What is your presence? You don't want to look at a form and it just look very unput together, like you're not there. You want to have a presence that you're focused and you're actually looking where you need to be looking. There's a trick that I kind of do where I look very intensely with my eyes, and that really helps you have that presence that we're looking for in Poomsae. As far as the uniform is concerned, they're talking about how tailored is your uniform. If your uniform is too big, it's not going to show your extension of movements very well, and it's going to make everything look short. If it's wrinkly, if it's not ironed, if it's not crisp, you just have a very dull presence. So that particular one has a lot to do with how your attitude is during your form and then how you present yourself as a person during your form. Deductions shall be made if actions are not crisp and powerful, or connecting actions are not big enough for the performer's physique, or the performance is made in the same rhythm throughout without slowing and accelerating to emphasize techniques. I'm really glad they talked about physique. This is something that I think is not talked about enough in Poomsae, but different physiques have different styles of movement. I have a short, more compact physique. I'm a little bit more stockier than most of the Poomsae athletes out there, and so I have to adapt my style and change my style to something that really works for me, which we'll talk about in detail more in a future video. But understanding how your body works and how to best make it shine are really going to help you in that presentation point. The biggest thing here is the expression of energy and rhythm. So again, all your presentations tie together. They all have a central ability. They all have a central theme of rhythm. So knowing your rhythm of slow and fast really help. And I'm in the process of producing a Poomsae course that talks about in presentation cues and details to really help with that. So be on the lookout for that. Presentation, while it is deduction based, by how they word it in the rule book, it doesn't actually mean that they're deducting it in real time. They're going to grade your overall presentation once they see the completion of the form. So remember, if you make an accuracy mistake early on, don't dwell on it. Keep moving. If you have a fall out of a kick, or if you have a stumble in your balance, maybe in kumgang, try to recuperate as best as you can, because presentation isn't graded until the very end. So if you have a strong form and you just had one minor spot that you really stumbled, then you can still recuperate in your presentation. And so you'll see a lot of coaches and athletes, they will take accuracy hits here and there so they can maintain their high presentation score. So that is a game we play. It is a numbers game. So understanding how scoring worked is going to help you understand how to better play your numbers. Okay, that's it for the presentation point of our scoring video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!